Hello and welcome to Crumbs Doilies HQ, where today we're making something super duper special. We're doing a 5-tier wedding cake for a very special couple, and they have given us a really fun brief. And when couples give us briefs for their wedding cakes, there's a lot that goes into planning it. So Sally's been very busy planning this cake, and I think it's going to look awesome. What have you done?
Yeah, so started with the brief, which was pastel, rainbows and glitter. That's pretty untraditional but awesome, and it's the kind of thing that we just love doing here at Crumbs Doilies, because we're not that traditional with our wedding cakes, I don't think. So started with a kind of sketch, coming up with different ideas, and then because it's really hard to actually visualise what it's really going to look like from a drawing, we've mocked it up on some greaseproof here just so we can match the colours later on when we get to it.
Using actual buttercream?
Yeah, actual buttercream, meringues, glitter, everything that we're going to use basically, so that we know exactly what it's going to look like.
And we've also got a massive load of different flavours as well, haven't we?
We want to get the rainbow in there, so we've got 2 tiers that are going to be rainbow. We've got a chocolate and white chocolate and raspberry layer. We've got salted caramel and chocolate and lemon as well. So you're going to get a bit of everything at this wedding, so
yum.
Bet you wish you were coming.
I wish I was coming, and I wish that I could stick around to help, but I've got loads to do today. So Sally is going to carry on this amazing cake, and you're going to hang out with her and see how it's done. So I'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Right, let's get going. Come on. So I've already got my 12-inch rainbow cake and my 10-inch chocolate and white chocolate cake in the fridge chilling out with their crumb coats. So I'm going to move on to my middle tier, which is chocolate and salted caramel. And remember, because this is a stacked cake, there needs to be a board the exact same size as the cake. So I've got my 8-inch cake board here with a hole in it. So we need to put a pillar all the way through it as well. So this is 8 layers of chocolate and salted caramel sponge, alternating between the two. It's one of our sort of oldest cakes here at Crumbs Doilies. It's been on the menu since the very beginning because it's just such a winner. So the best part about this cake is that every other layer has a pool of salted caramel in it. So I'm just scooping out a little hole for my caramel to go in, and then I'm going to pour it in. Right, so that's my last layer of salted caramel and chocolate. Now I'm just going to give it a quick crumb coat. I'm going to do it in white so that we've got a nice base to use later for our rainbow design. And I'm going to get it in the fridge, and then we'll move on with the next layer of cake, which is lemon meringue. And that's going to have 4 layers of amazing lemon sponge full of zest and juice. We've got lemon buttercream, meringues and lemon curd, all of which is made fresh every day, of course. And again, this is another classic flavour. So that's the 4 bottom layers of our 5-tier cake done. I'm going to get this in the fridge, and then the top one is our little rainbow cake. So cute, but they're so hard to ice when they're this small and this tall, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Right, so that is all 5 tiers. We've got 12-inch, 10-inch, 8-inch, 6-inch and our little 4-inch on top. They all just need to chill out in the fridge with their crumb coats, and then we can start from the bottom to the top decorating. So we'll start with our 12-inch rainbow cake. Okay, so this is our enormous 12-inch rainbow cake, which is going to be decorated with these really lovely pastel hearts here. There's going to be a lot of hearts to cover this, so I have enlisted the help of the lovely Rosie here, who's going to start cutting the hearts out. And the reason we cut them out now is because we need them to stick to the shape of the cake, which is obviously slightly curved. If we did this in advance, they'd be too hard and it wouldn't sit flush with the cake. First of all, we're just going to sort of place them around the bottom just to see how many we need, because I want to make sure that we don't have like a big gap at the end. Okay, so now we can just start sticking them on, and this might take a little bit of time. So my final 2 hearts are going on, and that did take a long time, and we calculated 180 hearts went on this cake. And there it is. There's a little gap there for something special, which you'll see at the end, but now it's on to the next tier. So I'm going to pass that to Nikki, and Rose has given me this one. Thank you. So this is a 10-inch cake, and it's 4 layers of chocolate sponge with white chocolate icing and raspberry sauce. And we're going to decorate this one with white icing and then use these really beautiful pastel rainbow sprinkles. I'm going to pick up a little handful of them and brush my hand upwards along the cake. So at the moment you can see it's quite a big divide between sprinkles and non-sprinkles, and I want to make it look like the sprinkles are kind of fading outwards. So I'm actually just going to throw the sprinkles at the sides of the cake. And now we've got the bulk of the sprinkles on, I'm going to go around and put these super special, massive, jumbo, chunky gold strands on. So that tier felt relatively easy to ice with the sprinkles. The next 2 tiers, the 8 and the 6-inch, they're going to have a full rainbow ombre going across the 2 whole tiers. So I need to start by making 10 rainbow colours. So that's my 10 colours made, and now it's time to apply them to the cake. I've got 5 colours per cake, so my 8-inch is going to go from this really nice purple through to the mint green. So I'm just sort of gently blending each colour so that it's a bit more of a smooth transition between each one, not like a really sharp line. That's the bottom half of the rainbow done, and now we can move on to the top. So all that's left to do now is our tiny little 4-inch cake. So first of all, we're going to cover this in a nice smooth layer of white buttercream, and then we're going to make it glittery because obviously glitter was in our brief. I'm going to start by spraying it with this metallic pearlized spray. And now for actual glitter. I think that's suitably glittery, so I'm going to have a quick clean down and then we can start stacking this cake. Okay, so this is our 5 finished cakes, but obviously it's not much of a tiered cake yet, so now it's the hard and scary part. So because this is such a big cake, we're actually not going to stack the whole thing here, we're going to do some of it on site. So now I'm just going to stack my 12, my 10 and my 8, and I'm going to take the 6 and the 4 with me. So I'm going to start by putting the pillars into the cake, because obviously we can't just put cake on top of cake because it will just completely collapse. And Gemma did a few weeks ago a masterclass on how to stack cakes, so she'll put that in the description box below, and if you're interested you can go and have a look at that video at another time. So I'm just marking on the top of my pillar with an edible pen, obviously, where the top of the cake comes to. And then I'm just going to cut this pillar and I'm going to measure 4 more exactly the same height as it. Before I put my 5 pillars in, I'm just putting this one long pillar through the centre of the cake, and that's going to go up through the next cake as well to help it stay together. And now before we can put the cake on top, I'm just going to spread some royal icing around, which is going to act like a glue. It's really great because it dries super hard, which means that the cake on top is not going to go anywhere. So I'm just releasing the cake with a big cranked palette knife, and I can get my hands right under it because there's a board under there, remember? And now I need to try and get it over here. So now my cake's nice and firm, I can get on with filling in some of these gaps that we've got from stacking them. And I'm just going to do that with some buttercream, some sprinkles, and I've got some really pretty pastel meringues that I made here. Okay, so that's everything packed up. Cake's all in parts and we're ready to take it to the venue in the morning to set it up. So I'm back at the kitchen and it's the day of the wedding. So before I leave, I'm just gonna make sure that I've got everything, because obviously I've got my 3 layers already stacked here, but then I've got the 2 smaller tiers which need to go on top. So I don't wanna get to the venue and realize that I haven't got enough equipment. So I make a nice long list of everything I need beforehand, and I'm just gonna run through it. So I've got things like every possible size palette knife you could ever imagine, lots of spatulas, some gloves, blue roll, hand wipes, because you never know what's going to happen. You know, fingers crossed it's all going to go smoothly, but you don't want to end up in a situation where something goes wrong and you don't have the tools to fix it. So top tip from me is to just take everything that you think you could need, like even more pillars, bowls and piping nozzles and toothpicks, some piping bags, an apron of course so I don't get messy, and extra sprinkles. So hopefully I've got it all. I just need to get all of this into the van and then we can head off. So we've got to the venue and luckily the cake is in one piece and it's looking great. So now all I need to do, get it out of the box, get it in position, and then we can start setting it up. So all that I've got left to do is put the finishing touches on, and I'm just going to put lots of meringues around this top tier and in the join here, and then I think we're done. So that's it, that's our finished wedding cake. I think it fits the brief of pastel rainbows and glitter perfectly. I absolutely love it, and I really hope that Tamsin and Jamie, the bride and groom, are gonna love it too. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, seeing how we do our wedding cakes here at Crumbs Doilies. Gemma will be back next week with another video, so she'll see you then. Bye.